How is everyone doing? Another day. It's the weekend. It's time to do some more Final Fantasy. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm looking forward to doing hopefully a bit better when it comes to doing the raids. We'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, if I'm having fun with it, I don't really care. Like, we'll see. We'll see what happens. My assumption is what we'll be doing today is mostly story stuff, and then maybe one, possibly two raids. We might get two in. I'm not 100% sure though. Right, we'll switch over to this. You will lose the music for a second. Okay. Let's see if I can get in. The reason why I've started this like 2 minutes early is because this might take 2 minutes. It'll probably take about 30 seconds, but what can you do? If I start a bit early, I start a bit early. Pardon me. Oh, it's chilly today. We're having a cold time. It's back in autumn now. Summer's over with. Which is weird because actually September's normally pretty okay for weather around here. But doesn't seem like it is now. The last time we fought a couple of gods. The gods were like, don't worry about it. It's kind of like a test, sort of. You have to investigate yourself. We can't really say anything. And then we came over here and they keep insisting they're not primals, which makes me think they're primals even more. So it's to be just you and me in Uldar. I suppose it can't be helped. What strange manner for the one who proposed the survey to so promptly abandon it. I'll not lie, I'm not given to working one-on-one with another, but I suppose I agreed to this agreement. I agreed to this arrangement. We don't have to travel together. Well, we had best be on our way. Yeah, sure. As I recall, Milvaneth Sicarium is still closed for construction, so let us try our luck at Arzeneth Ossuary. You have no objections to travelling separately, I trust? Good, I'll see you in Uldar. I do, I kind of would, it'd be kind of cool to travel with somebody for once. How do I get here? Oh, there. I have considered maybe switching up a class, maybe playing a class off stream, learning it, and then maybe having that as my class for the expansion itself. I think I might try Monk, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not incredibly enthusiastic about playing... I don't like playing mage. Like ranged attackers. Ranged DPSs when I'm playing story, because I actually find it's kind of hard to keep myself alive, realistically. I tried playing Dancer through some of Stormblood and it was a bit of a problem. Ah, you're here. Of the deific twins, Naldthal here. they worship Thal, who keeps the realm of the dead and weighs the worth of a man's soul. In contrast, Nald keeps the world of the living and oversees their financial fortunes. Feels like the money thing is just tacked on. Their names are borne by many a location and religious organization. Some extremely wealthy and powerful exist to nurture faith in them. On the surface, it may seem strange that a hub of commerce such as Uldar could be home to such spiritual people, but in actually quite logical when one considers that their religion is in essence commerce. Sorry about my speaking. I've had a bit of a drink. I do like the balance sort of hilt for a sword. In any event, Nalthal, okay, what was originally held to be one god came to be worshipped as twins. But it's actually both. Indeed, rather than two distinct entities, that which we encountered was a single being possessed of two personalities. What? Did I mishear? Did he just say that they encountered Nalthal? And while his appearance differs somewhat to the divinities worshipped, it cannot be denied that there are striking similarities in their nature. Do 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 do. Perhaps we should avoid talking about that here. What? Forgive me, this is hardly the place for such conversations. Let us continue it elsewhere. Bow now 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 now. 'Twas careless of me to openly speak of our encounter with a divinity within a place where he is worshipped. Heaven, I shall exercise greater caution. Hereon, I shall exercise greater caution. I thank you for alerting me to my indiscretions, and ask that you keep it between us. Me and the puff of darkness that I killed. Now then, to finish our conversation, as I mentioned, that the Nordthal as worshipped by men appear somewhat different. There are undeniable similarities in their nature. I believe we may report this to Grahar Tia. With that, our work here is done. Rather than waiting for our companion to arrive, perhaps we may seek him out at the Sunken Temple? He mentioned needing to make a detour. Where were we to set out now? We ought to be able to catch up to him. After all, we hardly know one another. Rather than loiter with an unfamiliar person, 'tis better to use our time productively, wouldn't you agree? I could call him. Then let us head to the Sunken Temple of Quorn at once. Quorn? It's probably Quorn. I always use the teleporting. It's such the best way of travel. Whereabouts are we going? Over there. Got it. I always forget where there's the exit. I love it. This is, I said this before, but this is by far my favorite mount. It just looks so, like, impressive while not being just too... What's the word? Like, too... There's not too much going on with it, but it's, with what it has, it's simple but effective, in my opinion. Oh, a scholar. Ugh. You're here. Thank goodness. I found this woman collapsed, though I can see no obvious injuries. By her attire, she appears to be some manner of scholar. Water, food, in my bag, please. I see. Notta, may I trouble you to find a bag? I will stand lookout in the meantime. I have food on me. If she wants food. Hello, Gollum. Examining the bag, you find a skin with little water left, but there appears to be no provender. For now, we decide to take the water to the woman. Provender? Is that a word? I've never heard of that word before, but it's cool. So thirsty. So hungry. Ugh. Not enough food. I need food. I have naught save dry meat, tough as leather. Do you have anything easier to consume? Yes. Nod head. Nod the head. Notta, Derek, what are you doing here? Actually, that can wait. Here, have some food. I have... Steady, Snorgheim. I've brought you Archon loaf and coffee, made sweet and creamy, just as you like it. What is this sound? This does not sound like someone eating. Ah, I am reborn, washed down with a sweet beverage. The life-giving nutrients of Archon loaf permit my being from head to toe. Thank you, kind stranger. However, you knew my preferred source of sustenance. You truly are a godsend. Oh, it's you. What brings you here? I don't recall mentioning my field work. It's for my research into the Beldehanan's worship of Azuma, you see. Haven't you heard from Kryl? The students are presently investigating the 12, and we would prevail upon your expertise. May I introduce Snorgheim, expert mythologist. She is a collaborator of students, and like many of Scarlian's scholars, is passionate about her endeavour to the point of forgetting to eat. Seeing as she was recovered, may I ask the two of you to tell her about the Phantom Realm? I feel like even if I just got on an emote, and whenever I get emotes that's just a nod, I think that would just be useful in general, but it'd be great in this. The 12 abide in the Phantom Realm, and you exchange not only words with them, but blows besides? Incredible! And your description of the domains, a thunderous tower in one and a sweltering city in another, are precisely as the heavens of lightning and fire are depicted in legend. In ancient times, worshippers of the 12 believed that they exist 7 heavens and 7 hells. Aetherology has since established that departed souls return to the etheric sea. But it seems that those afterlife domains were more than just inventions of mortal imagination. As a pursuer of myths, I must say it feels somewhat anticlimactic to suddenly have the revelations given to me. Well, it's not a myth anymore then, is it? If it's real. But more than that, I'm dying to know more, which is to say, please allow me to join your investigation. What? We weren't asking. We would, of course, welcome your presence. Without further ado then, let us head to Olympus. Kryl awaits us there. I wonder how they're going to get there. Air balloon? My plan is to teleport. You guys, I mean, I don't know if I can bring people with me, but I'd love it if I could. And this is an interesting one. I'm interested to see what the conclusion of why they're doing it is. My overall guess at the moment is it's something along the lines of like, we want to prove that humankind generally used as just like sentient species in real life, are able to survive without the help of gods. And through that we're doing trials or something. That's my guess. Like, oh, now Heidelin's gone. You don't need to rely on gods anymore. We need to prove to see if you actually don't need to rely on us anymore, kind of thing. That's my guess. Hi, Kryle. How you doing? How's Ook Ook doing or whatever? Oop, opu, opu. Oop, oop. It's probably oop, oop. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome. And I'm glad you could join us. I don't want to say the name when I don't have to. Kryle, how delightful to see you again. I understand you've been doing a fine job leading the students. But may I say what a lovely place this is. At a glance, this appears to be the highest of the heavens of legend, the seventh heaven. And ooh, if those aren't symbols representing the other heavens, I take it? Those are their respective gateways. I should like to pay them all a visit. For her benefit, let us review what we've learned thus far, and thence deliberate the next step. Pardon me. That's what they do, right? They go. The gods reappeared before us in Rygod's reach, though we were disguised. They were disguised as unassuming creatures. Their law forbid them from showing their true forms outside the realm. Does that mean that the little trolls that hold the rock are considered creatures and not sentient species, even though they can talk? Yet in the event the ambient aether becomes unstable, such as during the Umbral Calamity, it is possible for the realm and indeed the gods themselves to be glimpsed by mortals. And such sightings, we believe, have given rise to various faiths practiced throughout Erosia. Erosia? As we've confirmed in Uldar, the Nalthal worship by people and the Nardthal we encountered here have more similarities than they do differences. In the course of exploring Olympus, two things have caught my attention. The first is the gate which lies in the innermost area. In each of the other 6 gates leading to an elemental aspected heaven, and we stand here in the 7th heaven, as she says. I'm sorry about the way I say stuff. What then lies beyond the last gate? Probably Heidelin's place. The element of light. The second is the monument. It harbors some manner of magic, unlike anything I've seen before. I will endeavour to decipher it, but it will take time. Are you sure? It looks like all the other teleporters I use, but like its own unique design. Divinities that have existed since time immemorial, who abide in dominions resembling the heavens of legend. Why have they chosen to reveal themselves to mortals seeking battle? Unless they favour us with more of their secrets, 'twas seem this monument holds the key to solving the mystery. Indeed, much and more yet lies beyond our understanding, but we'll keep chasing the truth together. As I'm sure you'll agree though, this is tiring work, both mentally and physically. We need to pace ourselves. To which end, may I suggest we return to Revenant's Toll and have a rest before we embark on the next stage of our investigation? No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine, and she just ate some food, so she can probably last another day. Maybe 2. And now we're going to have the gods sneakingly talking about us? Maybe? What would be the point of leaving if not for that? No, just for food. I like how it's American style chicken, skewers with mushrooms on it, and then like Tell you what, let me do this. Boop. So rarely do I simply chat with colleagues. I have fairly forgotten what it's felt like. Yeah, the scions just leave whenever something's not happening. Indeed, and it's quite fitting we should do it so here at the 7th Heaven. Is this place called the 7th Heaven? Why have I never known that? Fitting, that's an understatement if I ever heard one. The 7th and highest of the heavens, which rules over the remaining 6, was right here in Muldal all this time. Don't say it out loud, we're in a public place. This isn't fitting, my friends. It's destiny. In what way? In what way is it destiny? You are very obviously well versed in the myths surrounding the heavens and hells. If you don't mind, I should like to hear your thoughts on them. No, tell me, I'm interested. I've heard of I can understand the heavens, but what are the hells? Is each of the gods representing a heaven and a hell? Builder, destroyer, fire guy, life and death? Investors as they are in their research, it doesn't take much to stoke their passions. My apologies if it makes you uncomfortable. I mean, he's also a researcher. Sure, he's not one of the students, but he's into research. Having always travelled alone, I'm admittedly not too familiar with such a lively atmosphere, but I do not mislike it. Mislike it? Is that a word? Is it dislike, but just slightly different? I don't like that. By the way, the two of you arrived at the sunken temple rather quickly. Did something happen? Not particularly. Well, as pleasant as this has been, it's past time we return to the annex. The paperwork for this commission isn't going to complete itself, alas. And then just like a comma and then alas. Then I shall take myself to Olympus. There's so much there, but I'd like to see. And I will do my I'm immortal, so I'm just not going to do anything. And I believe I will go for a walk nearby. It's getting a little warm in here. Alright, do take care now. He's gonna go exploring somewhere without us. I'm almost certain it's gonna be like that. What do I do? I'm gonna go speak with Derek? Okay. Hey Derek, I know you said you wanted to be by yourself, but I've decided to just harass you, I guess? Oh, Notta, it's pleasant, isn't it? The smells and sounds of a tavern, it makes one feel alive. And afterwards, stepping outside alone and breathing the cool air alone, I like that just as much. While we await developments, I shall remain here in Revenant's Toll. If there are any tidings, rest assured I'll share them with you. Thank you for your help thus far. I doubt so much could have been accomplished without you. Sure. Ah, greetings, Notta. If you've come to ask about developments in our Phantom Realm investigation, then your timing couldn't be better. A short while ago, I received word from Grahar Tia, and he and Krill have completed their preparations in Charlian and are ready to resume field work. Even as we speak, they might make their way hither. Let's wait for them together, shall we? Sure. I was just going to ask if you wanted to go for some food. But sure. Let us just wait here. Opu Opu, or Op Op, Derek, and Notta Furry. Ah, there they are. Oh no, he's got something on his back? Hello, Gryle. Hello, Grahar, or Grahar, or Grahawa. I don't know how to say your name. Ugh. Ugh. We have this random liar on us. What in the heavens are you carrying? What in the heavens are you carrying? This, my friend, is the latest technological marvel to come out of Charlian. I give you the etheric analyzer. Holding it thus, you take the measurement of the ambient aether, whose waveform is then recorded by the aetheric transcriber at the back. This provides us with detailed data of the environment with which we can study at our leisure. As you know, the Phantom realms are hidden by illusions. In order to discern their nature, I suggested to Kyle that we record the data with proper equipment. And she was like, well, then you're carrying it. Alas, said equipment is tremendously cumbersome. Rahar has done well to bring it here in one piece, and as expensive as it doubtly is, I hope we can return it in the same condition. Return it? Oh yes, we weren't going to steal it. Yes, to the Forum. In improving our investigation, they granted us use of the device in addition to their financial backing. Despite the students' greatly reduced scale, the Forum has faith in our endeavours. Thus did the approval notice declare, I'm proud to say. Well, of course, the hero of legends here and several scions. We owe much of this goodwill to the scions, yourself not the least of all. You're also a scion. That being said, we can't depend on the Forum indefinitely. No, we must stand on our own 2 feet again, and it begins with our effort in this investigation. Sure. The 12 are meant to be Aurosia's guardian deities, yet they seek battle with mankind? What could possibly be the motives? What could possibly be that motivates them? In treating with them earnestly, I am hopeful that we will find the answer. Well, we shouldn't keep Snorgium waiting. Without further ado, let's join him in Olympus. I know, everyone's going to be like shouting, it's not called Olympus, it's Olympus to me. I can't say the actual name, and until it's said to me, I'm going to call it Olympus. I'm sorry. I know it's effectively Olympus. It's where the gods live. There's a pantheon of gods that live there. It's high up in the heavens. I think it's fair. You all know what I mean. There's nowhere actually called Olympus. So I think it's fine, but just a heads up, I probably am going to keep calling that. It could be Umphalos, but that sounds iffy in my mind, so I'm just going to call it Olympus. Oh, is this a cutscene? Are 4 gods going to come and say, hey, it's time to beat you up? I'm the Earth God. I'm the other Earth God. I'm the Air God. I'm the other Air God. No, we've had Earth. So surely the person who threw a meteor was the Earth guy. So I guess maybe, I don't know. Welcome back. Well now, if that isn't the etheric analyzer, you've done well to get a hold of it. Indeed, we're deeply grateful to the Forum for the loan. It's no small thing to be looking about, but I'm always wanted to try it. If you're ready, Rahar, you may proceed with the measurements of the ether of the Phantom Realm. Notta, please assist him, will you? I don't know how it works. Surely one of you who knows how it works should. In the meantime, I have a mind to further examine the monument. How does that sound? Like a plan. As a matter of fact, I've already done a little bit of work on that front. I don't need you. I'm a master of this stuff. As previously mentioned, as previously determined, the monument harbours some manner of magic, and this magic I've since found takes the form of an epigraph. Epigraph? By consulting experts in the fields of archaeology, I was able to make a discovery. Where were these experts? Did you bring them here? Oh yes, a most startling discovery. They're all powering up the crystal in the front. This is the epigraph. That is, the epigraph is largely incomplete, so we can't read it. That's not a huge discovery. I'm guessing every time we beat one up, it gets repaired in some way. So you didn't make a discovery. But see, establishing what one doesn't know is also an important step in research. For a blessing, the language used doesn't appear to be completely unknown. If we can but fill in the missing information, it should be possible to make sense of it. But where do we even begin looking for such information? Why, we ask the gods themselves, of course. By giving them the battle they desire, we are doing them a favour, are we not? That being the case, I dare say that they would grace us with a presence if called. Please come with me. I don't think I called the last people that attacked me. I don't remember going, hey, that builder and the destroyer and the blimmin' fire one. The things I would ask them if they really did appear. Are you doing this assuming that it's not going to work? Now, going by astrology, the heaven of Earth should be the next to open, and it just so happens I know the perfect incarnation for this purpose. Oh, so we haven't dealt with Earth. The dude who threw the meteor wasn't Earth. I thought it would 100% be Earth. Open Muntoi. Is it just open sesame? It's a time-honored charm passed down in Gridania, whose patron is Nopika, one of the deities said to dwell in the heaven of Earth. Come, everyone, say it with me. Muntoi! Muntei! Muntoi? Open Muntoi! I've said weirder things. It worked. I was convinced it had to be sesame. Everything is open sesame. What did we say to unlock the other one then? Earth boy. Only one? I guess we only summoned one. That's my god! That's my god! S! That's my god S! What delightful children you are! I too have desired to speak with you. Ah! Oh! Don't get charmed. I knew she was a primal. By the 12, it's her! It's really her! She looks precisely as depicted in legends. Amazing! Bow. 'Tis an honor to meet you, Nopika. If I may, what is it you wish to speak about? You seek to decipher the monument, do you not? If you face more of us in battle, I myself included, we shall grant you the key to unlocking that mystery. Can I do it with the NPCs? We would of course be obligated for such a gift, but are you certain? The gods before were not exactly forthcoming with your secrets. Closely we have watched you from our respective sanctums, watched as you faced us and pursued the truth with pure hearts and minds. In light of what we have seen, we have concluded thus. Even should you uncover the monument's purpose, you would still be willing to lend us your aid. I mean, we'd be willing now. Help us to fulfill our heart's desires, and so too shall we grant you yours. I look forward to receiving you in my sanctum, my dear children. What about the others? I want to see the others. Also, is she really Earth? I thought she was more like a nature than Earth. But I guess Earth sort of relates to nature, I guess, in some way. Pardon me. I'm sorry you had to see that. It's been a tiring day at work. Give me a second. The original plan was to revisit the heavens of lightning and fire. They were lightning and fire, but I believe we all agree we should prioritize Nopika's invitation. Nopika? And now there's more people here that can help with us. Your charm did the trick. There was the way to the another helm lies open, and beyond it the truth of the monument. I will scarcely wait to pore over the etheric data. Raha, Nata, I leave it in your capable hands. As for you, Derek, may we rely on your guidance once more? No. Now we know what awaits us. Now we know what awaits. I do not feel my presence is necessary. On the contrary, I would only be a burden. As you wish. Of course. Of course you'd be a burden. We can still count on you to pray for our friends, though, I trust? Praying actually could have some use. I'm glad that I could join you this time, Notta. Incumbent as I am with the analyzer, I fear I won't be able to assist you in battle, but I shall do my part and secure the data we need. Oh. Can you not put that on someone that won't die? Like Derek? Like, Derek is not strong. Put it on him. He's in the background. You help me in the fight. Maybe you become one of the healers, because normally the healers are the hardest to find. So having a healer would have been really useful. You know? Is that too weird? My average item level's not high enough for this. Well, that's sad. Let's put my glamour plate back on. What about now? 588. Not enough. You know what that means, guys? It means we have to go back to this later. We're gonna have to deal with that later. I'm sorry. I know it would have been really cool to fight the gods, but I don't have enough for it. My equipment's not high enough level. And I've got nothing on me right now that can give me better than that. No, that's not the thing we need to do. No, it's that one. So we're going to go back to doing this instead. Last time we left it off, we beat that Guardian. And it was like, yeah, I'm keeping a portal there to the Demon Realm. Okay, I'll use that. Didn't I get the card? Oh, did I fail to get the card? That's annoying. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit the most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Please stop the sound. You are to visit Kalali and Yedilhamad. Speak with Mastiar and his people and listen to their grievances. Istinian, I bid you do the same at Alaka's stand. I will be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant's Goal grounds. Why do you get the one that's easy to say? Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of your populace, we can reconvene. That's annoying. I kind of wanted to get through all the raid stuff immediately, but I don't have the item level for it, so what can you do? Right? And I do get to explore this place a bit more, which I do quite like. Because I haven't done the beast quest for this like expansion. Because I know it's the elephant people, and then there's another one. I don't remember what the other one was. But I haven't done it. So I haven't really explored this place much. Oh, Notta. I was so glad to see you have returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Yes. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Carlzel's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best as we can. You know what? That's fair. Doo-doo. Everybody's just trying to make it through. I wonder what like actual damage got done. You know, like what specifically got done that like was so damaging. Hey, Junkmonger. Greetings and welcome, traveller. If this is your first time to Thavernir, then you must try the special Lassie. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally I part with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Still not turning a profit these days? Times are harsh, my friend. The world may no longer be on fire, but we all are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sister, spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travellers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. Jesus, it's that bad. I mean, you are a junkmonger. I mean, that's not the best naming scheme. That's a cool bird. How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger has passed, certainly, but no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. And to add to that, the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kalzal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done, God rest his soul. You've spoken with key local figures and gained an understanding of the populace's hardship. He awaits your report at Megaduta. Megaduta? I hardly know her. No? Okay, fair enough. I do like that they're showing that the world didn't just go like happily ever after. Like, it wasn't just, it's the end. There's nothing else happening that's bad. It's like, no, there's many things that are happening that are still bad. Like, the people are still suffering decently. Like, it's not just like hunky-dory, everything's fine. I wonder if I've got that shard right next to him. I don't know if I have all the shards, you see. I don't, you see. I don't have this one here. Oh, I want this one, though. I've got that one, though. Are those just two random people dancing? It is two random people dancing. Cool. Ah, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. There are a few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiry, the people of Palaka's stand were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they preserved with some assistance from Yedilhamat. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. And I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Palaka's stand has weathered the disasters better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant's gold to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Davenar has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in your places? It's pretty bad. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedamad. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace, his father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over, so many lives lost. Oh, there's the other guy, the Aladdin dude. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. Not a Estinian, I will consider the perspective you brought me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversary. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries. Functionaries? Functionaries. My plan is, let's cut off half of the population, and then there'll be like less people to feed, and we're gonna Thanos it. We're gonna snap them. I like this boy. I like the guy in the green hat.
I thank you for your attendance.
I thank you as well.
The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved or hoarded in Al-Zadal's name.
Al-Zadal.
A fortune I set aside for a future day of need.
And this is the day.
And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor.
I don't know if money really matters when everyone's going through horrendous times.
In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan.
Ahawan. Got it.
His soul.
Which god? Oh, gods.
Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly.
Sure.
Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad.
Yedamad.
Merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more.
Okay.
None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware.
I'm pretty okay. Arguably, I got more powerful.
Was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium, and by filling it
Kalzal. Got it.
for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
Yeah, I get the logic there.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
Orphanages?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted,
True.
leaving these young souls at
Schools and orphanages
of our society.
is my go-to.
Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
Fully funded orphanages. State funded.
Surely see now other nations rise to meet this
How did Ishgard do it? I think I don't remember. I don't think we were...
the wisest course.
Taxes, levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child.
Of course, we must all look out for one another.
I don't know if I want to suggest taxes and stuff. You don't want to make it harder for you to get stuff.
Let us put this idea into practice.
Yes, orphanages. That's the idea.
Requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
And a school? Probably a school as well. You want them to learn a career?
Such an influential policy is deserving.
Name it after the guy who died. Al-Zadal or whatever his name was. That one. Sorry, that guy. A fitting candidate. The illusion of choice.
Should be remembered not as the blasphemer
Exactly.
brought much wealth to our shores.
Exactly.
Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
Fair.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair.
Exactly. It would happen to me
When
instantly.
I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Isn't that right, men?
There's a woman there, but sure. I like the guy in the helmet. Where did we have him?
Well for that boy. Murad, was it?
Murad.
Perhaps he
Cool.
cut ties with that shady peddler.
He wasn't shady though, was he? Like, if you think about it, like, he sold us something that actually was true.
Let it be done. Henceforth, this
What about the other people? You didn't ask them.
Foundation.
Aw, what a nice name. You have any relatives? I forgot the whole story.
To assemble a patrol and ensure that
Pardon me.
no child in this city liveth in squalor.
Good. I'm liking that. That's a nice thing to say. Do 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 do.
Clerks,
Seek the management of our funds.
make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
I wonder how the other people are doing. I wonder how Ishgard's doing. It wasn't actually going through... It was going through a pretty bad time already, and then it went through another bad time. I hope Estinian's like, that's cool.
Side by side in pursuit of a brighter
Hey, Ishgard!
reminded of Ishgard.
Oh, I miss Ishgard. I miss Ishgard a lot. It's a nice... I hope we get to visit there in a story quest at some point. Just to see it again. It's a really cool place. Ooh. No. The music stopped. Thank you for putting forth his name. Those whose life he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Yastola. She asked that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Yastola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. The dragon? Yeah, I thought it was the dragon. I'm not great with names, okay? I'm very sorry. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of the administration since before Arwans assumed the office. They understood what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. I only have the power of one of your brothers in my weapon. In fact, you've got both of the eyes, don't you? Okay, I'm here. So if I go like here. The nearest one is this one, which is definitely not the one I don't have, right? Ah, it's the one I don't have. I'm going to go get that one so that this doesn't happen again. On the off chance we ever come back here. Do 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 do. I don't know why I'd ever want to come here. This feels like a very specialist bit. But just in case. Do 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 do. That's a cool. What is it like? Guild Ultima? Or is there 0? No, I think there's a 0. You now have access to Gate of the First Sight. I don't know what that is, but I imagine that's good. I'm hoping that's good. Do 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 do. I don't like this area because it's just constantly that engine sound, like the. It's like you've got a large computer fan, but I know it's not my computer fan because sometimes it disappears. Also, my fan isn't that loud.
Right, here we all are.
Indeed, we are.
You discovered something new.
You discovered something new. You discovered not something new.
I was able to determine how it keeps the void gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening.
But not how. Okay.
For that,
I need to reference the techniques developed.
Alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
I mean, the dragon knows it, surely.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Aught of value. Such a good. I need to use aught more.
Patience, good sir.
One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. Make sense?
From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them.
Of course. Yes, everyone knows here about that.
Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Yeah. I remember it. I looked slightly different, and I think I was a Reaper.
You touched a focus of some
Kind
kind
of.
to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world.
I didn't realize about the touching a focus thing, but yeah, I remember the rest of that.
The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness.
Yeah, which is kind of
In that
scary.
place, the laws of nature hold no sway.
Like, we could have easily gotten killed there.
Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in
Probably because of the
past.
focus, right?
The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Didn't you also, like, survive being in the etheric, like, afterlife for a bit or something?
Then what of the many void scent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
That's a good question.
An excellent question.
Yeah, I thought that as well, you Stola.
Though there are several methods by which the void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical.
Yeah.
For example, let us consider the gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
I mean, to a regular person it isn't. Oh, thank God the engine stopped. Okay. These things don't look like middling power things, if I'm being completely honest.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate.
I'm still surprised they didn't make this one of the classes, like a warlock kind of thing.
But a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact.
Okay, interesting. So it's because they need to keep their physical body.
Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Okay. So how do they summon the more powerful gargoyles?
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. What's that thing that was just wiggling about?
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Doesn't it just get beaten up by its friends? Like, doesn't it just get destroyed? But then, like, do they possess something? They possess statues that have the same looking form.
The summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone
Okay.
has proven a suitable vessel.
Interesting, because it's the closest to their body. Okay. Oh, it just literally turns into them. Okay.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Yeah.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
Okay. What's the guiding agent on the Void Center side?
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through.
Technologists. What a word.
To my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
Okay, then how did that work then?
Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I'm guessing something
I
big the
believe
Asians
solving
do?
that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
Is it cause of the Alligans? Like, did they break a big...
How do you intend to
They
get your
unstabled
answers?
it?
No, the danger is too great.
He's going to traverse via stolen soul into the Void Sense world.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Is that supposed to be a smile?
Listening to my tale. Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to
My
the
soul
ages.
can go through though.
Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors. that
I've
would
defeated
feast
armies
on
of murderous horrors before.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death.
That's why you bring
If
friends.
I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
That's me. That's me. He's talking about me. So much for taking it easy.
Since when were you one for the quiet life?
Since this whole adventure started. How are you going to protect yourself from being corrupted?
I put my life in your ever-reliable hands.
Because I have like the blessing of light, and then I'm just light incarnate now or
That said,
something.
As much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal.
I could beat him in combat. I could. I wouldn't, because he's a nice guy and he's just generally just a good person, but I could.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
Oh, that's nice of you. But is the but coming up?
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
Wait, so we're not going with the soul thing?
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemist you retained supplied you with some
Explanation of their
there.
mythology. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. Because I don't... He's an alchemist.
House Daymir was overseeing the project.
Dimir.
Daymir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
The great work? What's the great work? Have I forgotten that? Is that something I should know? I don't remember anything.
Not fully comprehend the theory.
But the research began with a...
Research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure.
Okay.
After a thorough examination, they created
Simulacrum.
an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities,
Simulacrum. I always thought it was simulacrum.
if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
They made a man-made void scent?
A man-made voice.
That's possible? How is that possible? Why is that possible? Why would you do it?
Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee.
His praise and accolades and were thus designated to be informed when the work has been classified as prohibited.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built.
Which leaves us... This is where Stinian says something? Or me? Me. With the restricted section of the nominan? 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 Nominan?
Yes, it may very well hold a copy.
Ooh, interesting.
In which case, I say we head directly to Charlium.
Charlia? I'm getting that name right. That's the one I've gotten right out of all of them. Estinian, where are you going? We haven't said anything. Estinian?
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. Still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Cool. Could you get a helmet? I love you. Like, your face is cool and you're very handsome, but I really liked your helmet. It'd be cool if you, like, put that on when you went into battle. That'd be really cool.
Let us be on our way as well.
I'd wear a helmet as well if I had a helmet that would work with my character. Even though they added female Hrothgar, they did not in fact add helmets to me.
We are resolved to venture into the void.
Did I sit down?
Sit idly by?
No, help us. Please don't try and stop us. You physically can't. We're actually being very nice. I bet you Stola could... Definitely Estinian, but Stola as well might be able to beat you in, like, one-on-one combat, honestly. I'm not even kidding. Let's have a quick check on this. Right, let's see what's happening. Hey, Stola. If we enter the restricted action... If we're to enter the restricted archives with minimal fuss, then we must secure permission from the forum. First, however, we need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? Oh. No one springs to mind? What of Scholararch Monted Chained? He did come to Grahard's defense during the inquiry, after all. It's settled. Let us head to the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Oh, nice. We have a walking with us. That's cool. Why is there just a random lockbox over there that's completely unrelated to what we're doing here? How do I... Like, I guess I go this way? So I'm so used to just either flying or beelining via teleporters wherever I want to go. You know, it's like, it's the high life. I'm too used to the high life. Do 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 do. Do, do, do. Come on, you Stola. Keep up. I mean, I guess technically I've got longer legs, so it's. I do like how they keep talking about the Puff of Darkness, though, when I have this, and I've had it since the very start. I apprenticed to Master Montoya at the age of 7 and laboured under her tutelage for a full decade. I've never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louis Soir took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. He was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I somewhat wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. He at the last stand after a day of lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends and spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Montoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was as far from the bright and airy halls of academia as one could get. It was wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Ah, that's very cute. Very, very cute. Don't let her say that. Don't let her hear you say that, though. She'll never let you down for saying that. We want to summon a man-made void scent. Can you talk? Can you allow us to go to the hidden section? That's completely normal to ask somebody you barely know. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scoliarch, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter the Nonoman's restricted archives. Numenons. Oh, no fugitive forays into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? What am I actually saying to them? In this situation? What am I discussing? Hey, we want to go into a void sense so we can traverse worlds? Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumptions is correct, the research left behind by House Demure has laid dormant in Charlian's archives for many centuries. You would have thought that the books would have degraded by now. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you do not intend to cross over into the void. That's exactly what we intend to do. That is in fact precisely what we intend. There's nothing here that can challenge us. To what end, pray tell? We're going to beat up the devil. To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiments aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echoes of its future, and yet I want to understand everything, to unravel it down to the very last secret. Sounds like the start of a villain's idea, like a villain's backstory. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if grand revelations were the promised reward? Again, Yustola, you're not helping. Haha, marvellous! Okay, I guess you are helping. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Montoya herself. And after hearing the whys and the wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request for the forum's consideration. And if they say no, we're breaking in. Although, your petition would be better received if you had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Alphano? Why, Master Furingnalt. Of course, he can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I would hesitate to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having the Master on our side would tip the balance in our favour. Very well, we will pay a visit to Levium's estate and plead our case. Oh, and one last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favour if you might share with me the discoveries you make into the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way into indulging an old man's curiosity. Of course. Of course. We will be sure to pass any of our revelations. Cool, because I want to see the cool dancer guard lady from Shadowbringers. She was cool. Like, she was like one of my... I wouldn't say favourite characters because they didn't give her a lot of story. But she was definitely one of my, like, favourite, like, personalities for a character. That I don't think was sort of, it wasn't really gone into, like, a huge amount, but I really liked it. She teleports with me, right? Yeah, she does. Cool. But that would be horrendous if she doesn't teleport with me. I wonder if Alphano and what's the other one called? Alphano and fuck. We've come to speak with the Master. Is he home by any chance? That's gonna annoy me now. Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him he has guests. Sorry, I need to do it a straight bow. Is that straight? Nah. I can't really do it. You didn't have to come out. I would have come in. Well, well. Amaryllis would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss? Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. We want to go into the Forbidden Archives and get the forbidden stuff. And use it for forbidden means. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocol this time around. Scholar Montihab expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you will not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again. Unless it's absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing the forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the realm between worlds to save her homeland from horrors and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of a reunion. He spends his effort elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but if it feels a worthy cause to pursue, all the same. As one who feared losing her own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you'll appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experience in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. I wish my smile was a bit bigger when I smiled. Do not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Bulsarian Annex. Here's hoping we won't have to break in. Now, more important than that, there's somebody in here who plays the card game. Is it a lady? It's up the stairs. I would like to fight you. Bring it on. I used recommended. Redstone. You play this dude. I can't beat him, but what can I do? I can put down somebody that 8 is the best. I'll put down this. You've put down another 8 that I can't deal with. I'll put down. I will put down another 8. Stop taking the corners. I put down an A. Yeah. 7. God damn it. I was so close to winning. Warrior of Light. Okay, you've got a 6 there. I can deal with a 6 with an 8. Okay, you've got an 8 there. I can deal with an 8 with a 9. Okay, you've got an 8 there. I can deal with that with like a 7. I win. You didn't give me the card. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna fight you again because I barely won that time. The Warrior of Light seems overpowered. You get A in 2 places where you just win. Now. Where am I going? Right there. Got it. Over here. Do. Do. You think we'll get it, or do you think we'll have to go into the Forbidden Archives again? I think we'll get it. I don't think they'll. We're literally the heroes of legend. So, what did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Batoya has burned some bridges here in Sharlayan and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms, I might add of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I am sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if not. I wish you well in your endeavour and bid you good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising, eh? But the very stoicism is what Sharlayan needed to guide them through not 1 but 2 exoduses. Hold on a second. I mean, it's not great to not show your emotion, but being a strong leader is also very good. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed of any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk through the door. Our focus will be finding House Demir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal had me feeling a bit giddy. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume? You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? Yeah. I don't think she ever left my side, if I'm being honest. It is over there. Do. Pudding Way. What a name. Oh wait, she's a bunny. Why is she here? I guess my pudding wasn't needed to stop the final days after all, but I preserved. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. Sure. Researching the best pudding. I mean, it's honestly, it's a passion. I give you that. To think the set of instructions I laughably imagined may actually exist, but yards away from where you found me napping. If I had known that Alzadar's the Third's exploit sooner, I could have well saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs to be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I have already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. I think you're being a bit hard on yourself there. Hey, index page. Are you older than this library? Archon, Yestola, and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step, and please note that use of naked flames is discouraged. Let's have a look at what's in here. I half expected this to be another dungeon, somehow. Is this just going to be Yestola getting really happy and, like, dancing around while I just sit here and just, I guess, watch? This place doesn't seem very well guarded.
If House Demir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
But where do we begin? Probably in the H section for House Demir, or the A section for Alchemy, or the V section for Void Gate, or the M section for Man-Made Void Sent. What about this journal? Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, her eyes blazing not with hunger but trembling, like a candle's flame threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insufficient even. All that matters is love I feel for this exquisite transcendent being. Are you tempted to read more? This does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. That felt like a blimmin' 50 Shades of Grey. In the year 1564 of the 6th Astral Era, the Almajars summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with a potent command of fire aspect magics. If we consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the aether should one believe in an almighty omnipresent attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence, some other embodiment of divine sagnacy? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of this ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of an encyclopedic wisdom of every age, yet with no means to verify its proclamations or pronouncements? How could one be certain that they were true? That one seemed very interesting, because some of these blimmin' primals are so, like, powerful that they literally can control time and manipulate it to their own degree. So it's not too weird to think of one having encyclopedic knowledge. The following pages detail an advanced method of manipulating rift-spanning apparatus as derived from Nushashan's, the 9th Primarch of House Demir. We present this research note to the facility of Sharlayan's Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. Your stola will need to make the final confirmation. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Yeah, this question mark with like a line going through it. It's a bit weird, right? There used to be a compass there, but it's no longer there. Well done, Notta. I think you've found our prize. Oh, I like that all of the flames are covered and somehow... What? No, that one's naked. That's a naked flame.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable.
How do you read now that you're blind?
Many times at the great work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Indeed. And how to make it bigger. My guess is I slash it with my sword. Feels like there's a bird on that picture, but I could be wrong. I feel like birds carrying souls is not like too weird in the myth. Oh, I've seen one of those before.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond.
They did summon.
The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
Okay.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiology.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will.
That feels like it's pretty powerful.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism.
Genius.
We proceeded
guessing.
to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing
Simulacrum?
what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
Interesting. Are they creatures though, or are they just crystals? Simulacrum implies there's a soul in it though.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics
I've
for
fought
years.
many of them, and they summoned.
Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Look, I got summoned here as soon as the story started.
And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
I feel like realistically that's not too weird to do though.
But at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Like if I saw that there was a species that was doing something I want to learn, I would analyze it, I would learn how it's doing it, and I'd try and artificially make it.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on.
One of them's forbidden for a weird reason. I think he just wanted to have relations with a creature.
That would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it?
They did say it was the least they could do. How do they get to these ones? Like the upper levels of these, they go up like this. So you can't put a ladder on it very easily. Because like either the middle-ish ones you won't be able to reach to get, or you'll have to have different level ladders. That's very weird. Eorzea has been added to the Unending Codex. As much as I'd love to start crafting the atoms, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hainish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in the House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for a moment. Please pass our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidhana can. I say we return to Thanvinir and look for her at the Great Work. Are we sure that we don't want to just stop teleporting back and forth everywhere? It costs me a decent amount of money, and you don't give me a lot of money. Like 3,000 gilds sounds like a lot. But that's like 2 teleports if we're doing these levels of teleports. Hello, Nidhana. How are you doing this fine day? Istola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study and that you want me to be a part of it? I have no doubt you'll be interested. The research log should speak for itself. Wait, did we bring the book with them? Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Daemir. I never even knew such a work existed. You should. It was requested in the Numenum restricted archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right in my unsuspecting hands? I can hardly wait to read it. Ha ha ha, get it? It's funny. We don't care, it's forbidden. There's nothing forbidden to these scholars, which inherently is probably a bad thing. To think that Daemir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock atoms? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Congratulations on your marriage, then. Work on a Daemir project that has been redoubted. Even the redoubted scholars of Sharlayan trembled in their sandals. No alchemist of the Great Work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. And I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with that big-mouthed simulacrum once we've built it? So there's a secret void gate and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is the day of revelations indeed. I don't know if we should have told them that. If the purpose of a man-made atoms is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apparatus is not the sort of thing you wish to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we finish gathering the components I require. Scarlian's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystal, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astral-infused water. For such a liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The aesthetics of old once favoured this place for their meditation, and the water which pools there is now known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you'd be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vitra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We'll meet back here anon. We'll meet here anon, I think it is said. Why do I have to get the water? Can't we send someone else? Oh, I guess it's not that far. Never mind. I'll take my car. Robot in disguise. It's a car, but it also flies. It's a car in disguise. I love this bit. These little engines that appear. This bit's cool as well, like weird stabilizers that I'm assuming are like there for etheric reasons or something. I don't know. This is just a giant pool. I would absolutely love to swim in this. Well, when was the last time I even went on a swim? It must be a while ago. It might be like 6 to 7 years ago. How come I'm not getting my T-Rex? I feel like I haven't got the T-Rex all of this stream. I think I kind of would like to live in this world, just not as the hero. Because you can still get strong if you're not the hero, right? And I'm assuming that, like, in the actual world, those random gorillas are not actually as strong as, like, the bosses and gods I've fought to this point. So I could actually just explore and have a really nice time. Realistically, I wouldn't, though, knowing me. Do you have that flask for me? Just because I stay in one place, that's kind of my thing. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. I don't know. Skill speed seems useful. Look who I came across. Estinian seems in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, now our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Mestia's boat again? Not this time. Once your Sterler informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host, shall we? But am I going to get to do like a dungeon thing at all today? I mean, there's a chance I won't. I'm not like annoyed by it just being story. Some of like my favorite sessions of like D&D and stuff, or like TTRPGs in general. Hey, I got my T-Rex. Have been specifically like non-combat sessions where it's just been us talking and sort of like our characters getting to know each other, you know? It's definitely faster to fly. The ship is yours to command. Oh, thanks. We shall set sail at once. Oh, this is so exciting. Alzador's legacy, to see the truth of the legend with mine own eyes. All aboard. This is where we fought the boss. Hopefully he won't attack us again, or else we deal with him. I don't like that sound. That's the bad sound.
Impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
No, no it wouldn't. It'd be more harm than good.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
Exactly. You did the right thing there. You did the right thing. Are we unintentionally going to cause a demon invasion or something? What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
Okay.
Graha theorized that a warding
Graha.
spell would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th.
I mean,
themselves.
I'm assuming Graha also would have preferred to test it.
Oh, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Throw it in for a bit, take it out, see how degraded it is. Maybe send a familiar?
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
Yeah, because it's not a real thing, right? What are we going to send in? A rabbit? A bat? A little fish?
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Yeah, I see no problems with that logic.
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Oh no. Oh no, it's gonna be your precious familiar, isn't it?
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
Don't worry about it, Estinian. We're throwing it in a void.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, water, froth and foam!
I thought it wasn't gonna work. I was so waiting for it not to work. It's gonna be like a living brush, isn't it?
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Yep.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
It was not adorable. Ah, okay, it's not. You made two?
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
Oh, you made them when you were a child. That's cute.
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
Why do you make two? Oh, one to go in with nothing, one to go without. Sorry, I just realised it. Sorry.
This one will bear a warding scale.
Ta-da!
When they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Yeah, we're not going to do anything without you giving permission.
Yes, of course.
But we could, but we're not.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
Can I stand like right next to it
Your guard as well.
and just like chop off any arms that come through? I always am. I'm not gonna say froth and foam.
And we are glad for it. Let us begin, shall we?
Oh, I should have said froth and foam just to see what she said.
Nixies, into the void.
Are you sure? Froth and foam, froth and foam. Froth and foam. Let's go and see what happens in the Shadow Zone. Not the Phantom Zone, that's a completely different place. Okay, I have to see what this is about. Okay, let's see. Let's see. This will probably be the final cutscene we see, but I'm interested. Why is she doing this dance? I like the dance. The dance I do as well. Occasionally you put the arms out.
I think we've waited long enough.
How long? I didn't know. How long did we wait? Like a couple minutes? Froth and foam.
Return to my side.
Froth and foam. Froth and foam. We've come out of the Shadow Zone. Oh no. Please heal it.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Yeah, we just sent you to your death. I'm very sorry.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Ooh, I like the word irrevocably. I can't say the word, but I like it. Irrevocably. Irrevocably. Open. Open. Shut the door. Shut the door.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Draw your weapon, Estinian.
They're coming through.
Ah, it's little babies.
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Lock the door. Turn the key. You will not get to see this land.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Of course. Of course, they're scary things. I mean, look at what happened to that little creature.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
Joke's on you, that's the one that had the warp ward thing on.
Unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
Oh no.
The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Rest now, little ones.
Oh no.
Laura's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows
Oh,
signs
so
of
we have a time
degradation.
limit on it. Interesting.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently.
Maybe we can make one that's more specific?
We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Yeah, I don't really have an
My
idea.
apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days.
I'd like to know what it looks like. I saw an image of it, but just looked like barren rocks.
The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness.
Yeah.
In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void.
Okay.
You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad?
Vaguely?
Explain the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals.
I don't remember that.
But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into...
Oh, is that'd be cool. Are we fighting the corrupted heroes? We've kind of already done that.
Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
Okay.
And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Oh, I don't remember too much, but my character does.
I can picture it now. The sunless Stygian expanse, infested with legions.
It's interesting. So they're like they've absorbed primal energy and darkness energy. Interesting.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
That's fair. I can understand your logic, but we kind of need this so that we can traverse the other realms.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
True.
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections.
I want to see the other reflections, like to see what the logic is with them.
Every step of the way.
Like what they specifically have, like what they do differently, what's happening in those worlds.
But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Yeah, true.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial atomos.
Atomos. I keep calling it an atom, but it's an atomos.
Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archive?
Satrap. But it says satrap there. He's thinking about...
Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
So is this just... This wasn't a guy and he didn't get possessed, right? This little child? He made that.
We will see you back in the city then.
I hope it's like that. I'm assuming it's like that. I'm just gonna say it's like that. He's worried about his indecision and whether it was the right choice or the wrong choice, and whether it's the right choice or the wrong choice to allow us to continue doing this. And I don't blame him for that. There's a fair logic there. Which one of these do I want? Bandit? Which one's this? Oh, this is for me. Not casting, it's not healing, it's not aiming. Is it slaying or fending? I'm gonna guess it's slaying. And God, I hope it's slaying. Is it slaying? Survey says. Survey says. Ding! Let's see if these are upgrades for anything. No, some upgrades. 1605 now. Can I feasibly do this thing now? Hold on a second. I'm not actually going to do a duty finder for it, but I can. I can now do it. I think I'll wait a bit just so that I'm powerful enough to do the other parts, but it's good to know. Anyway, I hope everyone's had fun watching this. I know there hasn't been any combat in it, but I liked the story. The story's quite interesting. I always find, other than the Realm Reborn to Heaven's Ward patch quests, sometimes I always find the patch quests quite interesting. And to some cases, I kind of find this more interesting than some of the stuff that happened in Endwalker and Shadowbringers, but that's just me. That's a personal thing. It might be recency bias. Either way, I hope everyone has a good weekend. I'm going to try and have a good weekend. I'll see you on Sunday for the special anniversary stream. I'm kind of looking forward to just going through it, like, more so for myself than anything else. But until then, adios. Goodbye.